chop all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night
vVv Gaming. Don't you have a few cannons in your natural and in your third base that are easily going to take down those banelings? I guess it depends on how fast they move. As we transition right into the game here, sorry for the banter back and forth, but a lot going on here.
Yeah, you know, it's been a very, very busy weekend. We're coming to the end of the esports season. All the news is coming to it at once, as we now see Infinity 7's Edge spawning as the red Terran player over here at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have RuFF spawning as the blue Terran player over here at the 3 o'clock position. Terran versus Terran. I guess in this matchup you can say Terran is OP'd, and I can't really argue with you, as I know Terran's gonna win. But
yeah, Terran win this every time.
Yeah, Terran will win this every time. But we'll see what these players try to do and how they go about approaching, or how they move into the mid game. RuFF, more known for his crazy antics, and Edge, I really don't know much about. What can you tell me about Edge?
Well, Edge is going to be the only Terran player on Infinity 7, so after this guy, no more Terran. They do have two players afterwards, Mentalist and Crazy Moving, and we can talk a little bit about them once they do come up, a Protoss and a Zerg. But Edge here is going to be their second player, and it's interesting that they would pick TBT. They have all the races available to them at this point, so going up against RuFF, maybe Edge is their TBT specialist here. I know a lot of players don't like mirror matchups, but other ones really thrive. They know all the builds, they know the counters as well, and we see him going for his first barracks here, and it looks like going to be a little bit faster than RuFF, but RuFF getting up that early gas, so probably going to be going for his Hellion, maybe blue Hellion play that we've seen from him before.
Yeah, blue Hellion play, and then I guess lifting off a barracks onto the high ground. We saw this strategy back when RuFF played Prime. We'll see if it is going to be the same strategy this time around, but this SCV coming in from Edge will be able to scout out everything. He's going to know exactly what's going on, and because of the delayed barracks, he's going to be able to stick around inside much longer. Also, if RuFF wants to be able to build a reactor as well on the barracks, he's going to have to delay that Marine even further, and then that SCV is just going to have a field day knowing exactly what to expect in the next timings, and perhaps even build up a refinery and sit inside the refinery for a little while if he decides to.
Yeah, and we'll see whether RuFF gives away the fact that he wants to get out this factory. He does have the 100 gas for it, he's got the minerals for it, but I think he's waiting for that Marine, so he's going to try to take down the SCV that's scouting here for Edge, and Edge is really delaying the build of RuFF here with his scouting as he finally exits the base, and we see immediately that factory goes down, immediately the reactor goes down, and that Marine going to be the only guard here, hoping that SCV doesn't get by him to see this factory.
Yeah, now what's going to be interesting is that Edge is now going into a quick command center. I would normally take a look at RuFF's base and pretty much know what to expect, and know that there was a gas much earlier. You can click on the gas, you can see how much gas has already been mined out, and know that Hellions are most likely going to be coming in the near future. We can see double gas now coming in from Edge as well, as he's building up his second barracks, and I'm curious as to how Edge is going to try to defend against this high level, or this light Hellion harassment. The barracks already making its way over, and now transitioning into a starport as well. I don't see another refinery, so it's most likely not going to be cloaked Banshees, as the Hellions are probably going to mass up to a nice number of 4 before trying to make a move.
Yeah, it looks like he might try for a drop play here, but I think his timing is going to be a little bit off. The Hellion is going to come out before that first medevac is ready. But as you mentioned, just the one refinery, I'm not sure he can do too much else besides a drop Hellion play with just the one gas here. And it looks like Edge is going to be able to get this expansion down. He's making primarily just Marines and SCVs at this point. He is getting out a factory of his own, so he's working off 2 racks and a factory, and he's gotten his second gas, so we might see a little bit more tech from him, but he will have to survive this this medevac drop with these Hellions.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to be happening here. The medevac is one medevac now being trained. Hellions are now making their way out. A poor SCV down to 3 hit points will be able to return home, and get back in, but the barracks is going to allow for sight up onto the high ground, and I think what RuFF wanted to see was supply depots and a bunker on the front door. Instead, it's going to be completely open as these 4 Hellions are now dancing against these Marines, and I think Edge is just not controlling his units all too well, and it looks like these 3 Hellions are going to be able to make their way through. A bunker is trying to be established, but this is not looking good at all. An SCV going to get taken down, and Edge may have to say GG before this game really gets underway.
Yeah, he's going to have Marines coming out 2 at a time, and he's already got 2 in his mineral lines, but RuFF just doing a nice job kiting, and now we see SCVs being pulled off, but they are lining up for those big shots, and now looks like RuFF has these 4 Hellions in here. A Hellion pops out for Edge, but 4v1, not good odds for him, and we see that RuFF going to be doing a lot of damage. That 1 Hellion for Edge is going to be on the low ground, and with the forces here for RuFF, he has yet to do any sort of reinforcement. Actually, here come the 4th and 5th Hellions for RuFF, so landing a barracks as well might start creating some Marines. A little bit of BM by his part, but losing a lot of SCVs is Edge.
Yeah, Edge is going to be in a bit of trouble. You can see that he's already down to 12 Harvesters compared to 24. The Hellion's able to just run around, have free reign in this base. There's an engineering bay. Just all these unnecessary resources just spent on something that isn't really getting a lot of use, and now a tech lab being added by RuFF. So RuFF adding on a tech lab just for fun, as the Marines are focusing down the barracks as opposed to going after the Hellions, but the damage has already been done.
It looks like RuFF going to be retreating for
just
stealing the tech lab.
So
air that a little bit so that it doesn't burn down. So RuFF donating a tech lab there to his opponent, and yeah, that's fair. He took down a number of SCVs there. That's only fair. He leaves him with a little going away present. 18 SCVs killed there, so it's currently 14, now 12 SCVs as the Hellions making their way in once again with that medevac, which didn't even come into the play in that earlier attack. So RuFF once again delaying mining here, taking down SCVs. SCVs lining up once again, 1 or 2 more shots, and there it goes. I think that's going to be too much for Edge to come back from. He's down to 7 Harvesters against the 27 and the 2 bases now of RuFF.
Yeah, Edge does have a second orbital command. He is going to be able to call in 2 mules, but Edge definitely has an uphill you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, as RuFF now perhaps is going to try to get a little bit more gas. He is researching Cloak already, and we'll see what's going to be happening here. Edge in a little bit of trouble, or in a lot of trouble right now, as we figure out what his long-term goal and strategy will be.
We do have a Banshee here, and Cloak about to finish, a second Banshee on the way, and already we see a missile turret up for Edge, so he's going to be prepared for this. But look at how low these SCVs are. That Banshee is going to be able to take down SCVs basically in 1 shot. And I don't think the Edge can really afford any energy on a scan at this point. He does have the 2 orbitals. He's about to hit 50 energy. And once again, here come the Hellions working on the SCV line. And again, there's the GG from Edge. He just took too much damage there from RuFF. And RuFF able to take another game very quickly from Infinity 7. And we're at 2-2.